Well, hello, I'm Johnny Rowland, your host of our shooting program, and we certainly want to welcome everyone to today's program. You can see we have a special guest on today's show, and this young lady is, of course, Earlene Mandrell. And Earlene, it's a little cool out today, huh?
It's freezing. I was glad I could borrow a coat.
Well, absolutely. We are here on a lovely afternoon. We're blessed with good weather. A little cooler than it has been this
but
week.
It's not raining, huh?
But we're just outside Nashville, Tennessee, and of course, many of you will remember Earlene. She's been all over the television set for many years, and also she's a lovely person, and she is a shooting enthusiast. And of course, that's why she's on our program today. And we're going to be talking about guns, we're going to be talking about women in shooting, but how about let's get the shooting show underway. Earlene, you want to open the show today?
I'd love to do some shooting. I'm not an expert, but I love it, and I want to see what I can
do.
Well,
but you're underway. You're an expert
on my way.
under construction,
I'm trying to learn, that's right.
Now, friends, here we are certainly at Earlene's family home here outside Nashville, Tennessee, and certainly you've got a great area.
Great for shooting, isn't it?
Well, it really is, because you don't have any neighbors that are really nearby.
That's true. We've got some cows, and you know what? Well, you can't see them right now. Most of the time they come up and they're not afraid of us at all. They like to watch us shoot. They get interested.
Well, you're just careful. I know where the bullets go. And they've got a real nice backstop. They have some cross ties. Of course, they've been out shooting some bowling pins, and they have some other things we'll be looking at, or be shooting a little bit later today, probably. But Earlene, first of all, certainly you have become a person in the public eye for I guess most of your life, probably being from a famous family.
I started playing drums when I was 12, but I've been around the entertainment business a long time. That's true. And
we appreciate Earlene's efforts so much, because we were talking earlier, a lot of the scenes of guns and gunplay in popular television and in movies is what? It's not too good, huh?
The media's not real nice to us sometimes.
It's really, as we've often said on the program, and we certainly appreciate someone who people would associate you with seeing you on your sister's program or on some of the country shows out of Nashville or one of the sitcoms or something. But it's also good to know that you're a real person that cares about our rights to own and properly use guns.
Most of the things I do is comedy, and most of the time very ditzy. But when it comes to the guns, yes, it's a very serious thing, and I'm very serious about it.
Well, certainly you've played humor has been a large part of your work, right? And
here comes Ryan.
And you can tell when the dog just runs up to the master, you can tell they're a nice person. You can always count on. Animals don't miss, friends. But well, today we have a gun that our good friends, and of course we check it, we know that it is empty. Our good friends at Smith & Wesson have sent down here for use on the program today. And Louise, what is this particular gun?
It's Earlene.
What'd I say?
You said Louise, but that's okay. Next time you can say Barbara.
Barbara, what?
Okay, that's okay. This is called a Shorty 40, and it is a 40 caliber. And this is really nice because normally I shoot a 9mm, and I wasn't sure about the recoil on this, but it is really great. And also, it has a double action that I was shooting to start with in this thing, and it's very, very smooth trigger. It's very easy for me. As a woman with not real strong hands, it's
what
important.
we have seen from Smith & Wesson is they've gone to a lot of trouble to ensure that trigger pulls are consistent. Now, this gun, you have I suppose a medium-sized woman's hand, probably, and it does fit you well.
It fits me very well. I feel very comfortable.
Well, why don't we take some pictures of you shooting this particular gun on of course, you open the program with bowling pins. Why don't we get some pictures of some of the ladies? Now, ladies, as we're always saying, it doesn't matter what your stature is. We were talking, of course, I'm taller than Earlene here, but that's really immaterial when you're shooting a gun, because someone, for instance, Kay Clark Michalik is the current world champion women's shooter, and she's not as tall as you are, and she's certainly a near petite person, and when she's shooting on the range, the fellows that I shoot with, we just let her finish, and
she's pretty awesome, isn't she?
Yeah, we just let her finish, and then we'll start shooting. So, ladies, it doesn't matter about stature. What some of the ladies may be concerned about, and that's one reason I like the 40 caliber. It's with bullet selection available in the 40 caliber, you can go from a relatively soft recoil round to some really harder stuff. But the 9mm is not a bad consideration. The 9mm has gotten some bad press, but remember, friends, it's not as much what you hit them with, it's where you hit them. And this accuracy is really, really important. One of the nice things about the Smith & Wessons is they are as reliable as any handgun made, certainly that I'm aware of. And believe me, on this program, everything goes bang, it's come through here.
This one's pretty light to me, too, because I was carrying a SIG, which I love, but this one's pretty light.
Well, this one has the aluminum
frame
frame
in it, yes.
Now, a couple of weeks ago, we had the double action only version of this here on the show, and of course, we're being very careful around the animals. And before we shoot again, I don't think the dog's going to enjoy the noise. Probably not as much as
she'll go off, but she's not afraid of it.
Well, we're certainly very careful around, and that is something to be considered. When you go to the range, be sure that your pets are in a reasonable situation so they can't possibly get any sort of ricochet. And remember, this dog's ears are much more sensitive than our own. And I'm wearing earplugs, and of course here are your ear muffs protectors, and that is something to think about. I certainly wouldn't shoot a handgun over a dog's head or around, because it will really shock their hearing even worse than ours. So that's just a little something that we're very conscious of out here today, and you folks should be too. All right, let's do some shooting.
Sounds good.
Earlene, you've been getting some expert instruction, and friends, if you're thinking about, and we're all in support of the citizen's right to carry concealed, and certainly a lot of states are having mandatory training courses, and of course Earlene, besides her husband Rob, who is a more advanced shooter, of course, and they even went to the trouble, because a lot of times, this is something to think about, a lot of times wives don't listen to their husbands as well. This is true. This is really true. And I for one, I listen much better to my wife than she listens to me. You understand? much better. But moving right along, a little humor there, dear. Just a little humor. Seriously, sometimes it's better to get training from someone outside your family, because if you have a brother or maybe your dad or your husband or someone, you say, well, they're wrong on everything else, right? So how could they be right on handguns? And friends, this is really serious, because one, we want, and we've got to reach as many women as possible. We want you ladies to be safe. And women are typically better students than men are, because, as I've said a dozen times on the program, women do not have the John Wayne complex or syndrome. And women are better at starting from ground zero. Women will typically admit it if they don't know something about guns. So it's not a problem for a woman to learn how. But we want to stress getting some qualified training if at all possible, because certainly you don't want to hurt yourself, you don't want to hurt your family. You want to be able to use the gun if you had to in an emergency. Now, a good friend of you folks, Marty Martinez, has been giving you some expert instruction. Marty has been...
He's an expert instructor. He talked to you about it with the police?
Yes.
And also with military police.
And that's really good, because even though certainly Rob has a lot of finesse, and he has owned a shotgun for a long time.
Yeah, he graduated from military college and second lieutenant in the Army, but
still, don't you listen to Marty.
You have more patience with someone beside your husband's at times.
And this is important, friends, because when we're learning something that we may have to defend our lives or protect yourself, remember, now Earlene, for example, how many people, if something happened to you, disallowing your fans, if something happened to you, how many people would be affected? Say if you were hurt or injured in some sort of...
Especially when you're not only a wife and you have family anyway, but a mother. And
parents, brothers, sisters, neighbors. Each one of us, friends, even the ones of us who are not famous like Earlene here, represent a minimum of 20 people, now think about this, that are depending on you to take care of yourself. Like, who all would be hurt and really devastated if something happened to you? And see, friends, we cannot take all the nuts out of society. We can't take all the criminals. In fact, a couple of thousand being turned loose down in Florida due to a federal judge. Some really serious hardened criminals being turned loose because of a glitch in the law. Now, we can't keep them all locked up, but you know what we can do? We can learn to protect ourselves. You're exactly right. And even if you're not as concerned for yourself, think about how your family would feel if you were brutalized, if you were injured. And you know, when someone breaks in your home, or someone tries to attack you in a parking garage, whatever else, you don't know if that person is going to kill you, or if they just want to take your purse or whatever. Because I've seen actual court tapes of crime scenes where the remote cameras, where the people said, "Here, take my purse, take the cash register," and the armed assailant took it and then shot them for fun. I've seen actual tapes of this, friends. It's not like some of the folks say that in the newspaper say, don't resist, it'll all be. It won't be all right. It will not. And the best thing you can do is learn to, one, properly handle yourself, and certainly if you choose to have a firearm, learn to use it.
Learn to use it, and then you practice and work with it as much as you can. I believe that you feel more comfortable with anything that you're more used to doing as often as you.
That's right. Did you drive a car, the first day you drove a car, were you as good as you are now?
No. Really bad.
All right. Well, think about it. I mean, this is simple logic.
I have to get an instructor, and I in turn, I had my mom teach me instead of my dad, because my dad was my dad. He was a man. No, but you had to work with it. You had to learn.
And this is why we encourage people, if you go down and buy your gun, and some people go out and buy a handgun, they go to the range, shoot 6 times, and they go home and say, well, I know how now. Well,
an emergency happens, you're more likely to be in a panic. You need to shoot when you're not in a panic and get used to it. So when something does happen, you're prepared.
That is so true. Well, now, Earlene, you said you were shooting a 9mm before this 40.
Yes.
Do you notice much difference in recoil?
I thought there would be more recoil with this, but I don't think there's much more left.
Well, Smith & Wesson has really done their homework, and on certainly they have as fine a line of guns as anybody, and better than certainly most of the things we'll ever come in contact with. Well, let's watch you shoot this gun, your hands. Now you're working with a sort of weaver stance that Marty has taught you to do. Well, heck, let's watch you in action a little bit. We're going to get you some close-ups there. Here, I'll hold it for you if you want to put on your hearing protection. And yes, we always shoot with eye and hearing protection. Yes. All right, ma'am. Right ahead. Go ahead, load and make ready. Good. Now, Earlene has our test Sigma from Smith & Wesson. In fact, now you really like your short 40 with aluminum frame, right?
Yes.
That's a little bit smaller gun than this. Why don't you try shooting the Sigma? And I'm going to step back over here. You go ahead, and if you want to take a step forward to get a little better in line there with our camera shot. But go ahead and try that. I'm going to step back and see how you like that as compared.
Okay.
And we're out. Well, what'd you think? We only had a few in the magazine there, had several. Okay.
That's nice.
Did you notice a lot of difference in recoil with that and your short 40?
This seems like it has a little stronger recoil.
But you shot it well. And that's what I'm anxious to go back and review the tape and watch your hands, but certainly this would be a consideration for a lot of the ladies out there who want a semi-automatic pistol. What do you think?
Nice sights. I like the sights on it. It feels really good to my grip. I think this one might actually have a little bit of a thinner grip. I'm not sure.
It may have.
But it's nice.
Interesting comparison, and certainly for those of us who are Smith & Wesson fans who are maybe just looking at getting a handgun. So this is definitely a choice that probably some of the ladies should look at, huh?
Yes. And also, well, of course, it's two different styles on what you like on the bluing and stuff. Mine happens to be the stainless steel, but this one might be a little bit heavier. What do you think?
I think the top end's a little heavier. In fact, we hadn't weighed them. But of course, the one of the properties of the Sigma is you do not have a manual external safety. It's more or similar to a revolver. You got about a 10-pound trigger pull, and of course, with your short 40, you have a double action / single action.
This one definitely, I think, has you need a little. It's a stronger trigger pull. Is that what you're saying?
A little bit. Mm-hmm.
Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station.
You know, friends, all of us as shooting enthusiasts should be subscribing to Shotgun News, the trading post for anything that shoots. 3 big issues monthly with literally thousands and thousands of firearms bargains. Give them a call, 1-800-345-6923, a very inexpensive subscription price. Again, 1-800-345-6923. Subscribe today. Well, friends, here we are today at Clark Custom Guns in Princeton, Louisiana, with one of the best shooters, all-around shooters, in fact, in the world today. This is Jerry Mitchellly. And a lot of you have seen him on our program many times, shooting with revolver and certainly competing in other arenas too. But Jerry, you were shooting Smith & Wesson long before you became affiliated with them, weren't you?
That's correct, yeah, I was.
And looking at these guns, we have Model 27 here. This is one of your competition guns.
Yes, it is, yeah.
Well, in fact, friends, to refresh your memory on watching Jerry shoot this gun and this 625 right here, let's take a look at Jerry in action for a moment. Now, Jerry, we have actually timed your shots there, and you're actually running this revolver just under 400 rounds per minute. That's pretty fantastic.
Well, the gun helps a lot.
Oh, the quality gun?
Right, trigger action, yeah.
On your original Model 27 357 Magnum, how many rounds did you put through the gun before you retired it?
Well, I bought it secondhand for $180, and it was several years old, and I shot it at least 250,000, maybe 300,000 rounds.
My goodness. And it's just you retired for sentimental value.
Right, yeah.
Well, friends, I think that speaks awfully well of Smith & Wesson quality, and as you were saying, if you as a first-time buyer, whether you choose one of these new 5-shot 44 specials, which is really innovative, or maybe one of this new aluminum 22, which weighs about 9 or so ounces, or one of their great semi-automatics, and they're as reliable, certainly among the very most reliable semi-automatics on the market today. You certainly cannot go wrong with Smith & Wesson. And friends, remember, they're helping to keep our shooting show on the air. Please give them a call, 1-800 1-800-331-0852. Again, 1-800-331-0852. And please dial extension 2904. Again, extension 2904. And thank them, please, for helping to support our shooting show and also get you that free catalog. They have a lot of stuff a lot of you may not be aware of. And by the way, on our Fun Gun Weekend, Jerry, you plan to be here and do a shooting exhibition.
Right, we're going to do several demos down today.
Trust me, friends, it is going to be great. That's May 17 and 18 here at Clark Custom Guns in Princeton, Louisiana. And we sincerely appreciate you taking time to visit with us today, Jerry.
It's been my pleasure, Johnny.
Well, and a lot of folks are going to enjoy seeing you out here in May.
Good.
This is my friend Marty that we've talked about that's been helping me quite a bit. I wanted to ask you, because a couple times I felt myself get a little shaky and stuff, I wanted to ask you, when I just shot, what were some things I was doing wrong?
No, you're doing real smooth as far as the shooting, but what you have a tendency of doing after shooting so many rounds that you're going to start becoming a little too comfortable as far as your grip. What you need to do is reinforce mentally. You got to reinforce it. You got to have a real good grip. You were shooting right on the bowling pins, and what it was glancing right off the side. So you're really on target. Your accuracy is there, but it's just the grip is a little relaxed. You got to tighten up on the grip and reinforce that memory response for your body to be able to react correctly with your hand.
Okay.
All semi-automatics, you should have a good firm grip, and that's a reassuring point of accuracy. Is you got to have a good firm grip, positive grip with both hands. Okay.
All right. Okay.
No problem.
No problem. Now Marty has had me also, the hoster here. One thing they haven't done a whole lot before was you had me drawing from the hoster, which is hard to get the grip real good together on the hoster, but we were talking before about how important it is to be able to know how to get to your gun, not just like before I was just trying to aim and shoot, but that if something's going to happen and you're really going to need to be prepared to know how to use the gun in action.
That's correct. It's correct. In whatever configuration that you have that gun, that's how you should work with that gun. If you have it in a purse, if you have it on the side as far as on the holster, then we're not target shooting out here. We're learning it. If you have a situation where you have to make a confrontation, that you know how to use it correctly from the configuration that you have it on your body. And target shooting, having the gun out all the time and not coming out from whatever the holster or in the pocket, you should work with that. That way you'll start be able to think about the situation that's at hand, instead of, okay, I've never done this before, I got to bring my gun out of here, out of my pocket, or out of the holster. Instead, you're thinking about the situation that you're confronting and making judgments from that.
That could really save your life, couldn't it?
Correct.
Now, Arlene, of course, we're out. It's cold on the range today. We're shivering. But hey, I tell you what, Fred, she really wanted to do this for you folks out there, and we really appreciate that because she's a real trooper. I mean,
and it is still fun. It's cold. It's still
it's
fun.
cold. Well, we're going to finish up out here. We're going to go inside and look at some more guns. But what we're about, you know what this is?
You told me it's a timer. I'm not sure how it works.
This is a timer. Now, ladies, this is something that a lot of you may not be familiar with, and certainly what it does, it will give you a start, like a beep there. It will give you a beep, and it will stop or record every loud noise, like a gunshot. And this gives you, for instance, now we're going to do a little drill here, and this is important. I realize that Arlene is fairly new to being, as far as handguns
yes.
and speed. Certainly now, she's shot a lot of targets and stuff, but when we're talking about action shooting, this is kind of new to you, right?
New to me.
Okay, we're going to run a simple drill, and notice that here we have some very simple targets. These are just little paper plates, and trust me, if you can hit a paper plate rapidly, that's good. That's pretty good combat accuracy. Trust me on this one. So we have an excellent backstop here that's not going to give us any problems. So Arlene, tell you what, I'm going to start you with the timer, and because it is cold, our hands are cold, she's not going to have her gun holstered. She's going to start from the gun at her side, away from the target. She's going to have to turn like so, take the gun when she hears the beep, and shoot the target. Of course, she'll do it two-handed, shoot. So that's just a simple drill that would be an excellent drill for some of the ladies out there.
So I'm turning into it, huh?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Turn into it and
But I
shoot.
had to go
And we'll see how long it takes you to react. So I'm going to let you use the timer here. When you hear the beep, all right, we're going to have the gun at low ready position like so. Now, you're going to carry this particular gun, this Smith & Wesson, with safety off, right?
Well, right now the safety's off, yes.
Okay, right now,
That's
so you're
how
going to start with that. That'll work. Okay, let's just establish.
It's going to be double action when I shoot.
Okay, first shot's going to be double action. All right, you'll get a surprise start. I'm not going to tell you when. And you turn and shoot that top plate as fast as you can. Let's see what it looks like. Shooter ready?
Shooter ready.
Stand by. Good. All right, now that took you 1.22 seconds.
That's pretty quick.
Well, you
Not
know,
quick.
with a little practice, you could probably do it in about 6/10 of a second.
One more time?
How about let's do it one more time? You did decock. Let's try it again. Shooter ready? Stand by.
Ready.
Good. All right, 1.12 seconds. So you've never worked with a timer.
No.
So you cut over 1/10 of a second off. You cut a 1/10 of a second off just by concentrating. Let's do it one more time. You want to do it one more?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Shooter ready?
Ready.
Stand by. Good. Now see what you did? And she is being very careful decock. See, every time you're coming down 1/10 of a second. Every time a little quicker, a little faster. So a timer can really help you.
And you feel, it's not just faster, but each time that you try this, you actually feel a little more confident.
Oh,
with
yeah,
it.
yeah. Well, hey, how about let's go inside and talk some more
We
guys.
get get heat, make you some coffee. Okay.
Thanks. Now, friends, here it is. This is the Dragunov Tiger Carbine. And if you recall on the feature we did recently on our program, in my estimation, it has the best features of the Russian SKS, which is the gas system, and the AK-47, which is the rotary bolt. And it combines the two of them for what I think is a better gun than either. This gun has been extremely accurate. You know, we got groups with this gun just under an inch at 100 yards. With surplus ammunition. And by the way, ammunition is in this country. There's a lot of it out there, very inexpensive. This shoots the Russian 7.62 by 54 round, roughly the equivalent to a 308 or a 30-06, a very, very fine hunting cartridge. This gun comes with, as a kit, a complete package. It has 2 magazines, a soft case, cleaning kit, has a quick detachable scope with a lighted reticle, oil package certainly, spare light bulbs for the scope, spare battery. A lot of neat stuff comes with it. There are only a handful of these guns in this country, and there won't be any more because the import of these guns has been stopped. So to me, it is a very fine gun. In fact, I wish some American manufacturer would actually pick up this design because it is excellent. Very simple, easy to maintain, and certainly accurate and shootable. Now, our good friend Tim at NWI has a handful of these guns, and I do mean a handful, just a very few, and he's making them available to our shooting show audience at $1,399. $1,399 comes complete with the scope, everything that you see here, the complete kit. And of course what you have is a super rugged, super reliable, very fine hunting and target rifle. It certainly is a very, very fine design. Remember, there will be no more. It's a great shooter. It's also a great collectible. And Tim has some ammunition, a lot of surplus Russian ammunition, very inexpensive here in this country. And of course, a tremendous cartridge. What I noticed about the gun, and you may recall from our feature on it, was lack of recoil for the power of the cartridge. We'll take a look at it. See, for a 30-06 power cartridge, I just don't see that as being a lot of recoil. So again, a very, very nice gun. If you're interested in owning one of these, there won't be any more chances, friends. When these are gone, there won't be any more. So you might give our friend Tim out there at NWI a call. That number is area 503-429-5001. Again, area 503-429-5001. And remember, he's making allowances if you want to break up the payment on this gun into 2 payments. He's ready to work with you. If you'd like to break up your payments into several payments on the 1919 Browning conversion, he'll certainly work with you on that. So give him a call. Remember, they have surplus ammunition at some great prices. 30-06 ammunition, 18 cents a round. Only a limited amount, but certainly that's on sale now through the good folks at NWI. Give them a call, 503-429-5001.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station.
Friends, what would you feed a grizzly? How about some Georgia Arms 45 Winchester Magnum jacketed soft point ammunition? You know, in the past, hunting ammunition for the 45 Win Mag has been very difficult to find. Well, let me tell you what, our good friends at Georgia Arms load a 300 grain 45 caliber soft nose bullet, excellent for hunting deer or hogs, about anything else. That velocity is 1,250 feet per second, tremendous power, and a great hunting load for use in any gun chambered for 45 Winchester Magnum like this great grizzly here. Well, friends, it's not just this caliber. It's almost any caliber I certainly can imagine. These folks have the best ammunition at the best prices that any of us have ever heard of. In fact, I can buy factory ammunition from Georgia Arms in a lot of cases cheaper than I can load it myself, and of course it is superior grade ammunition. Now friends, let me remind you that these good folks are helping to keep our shooting show on the air. This is the only place on television you can get this kind of information. Friends, these are absolutely some of the nicest people we've ever had the pleasure to meet around the gun and shooting industry. So please get a free catalog, free call, free catalog. That number, 1-800-624-6861, 1-800-624-6861 for Georgia Arms. Please tell them you saw it here on our program and thank them for their support of our efforts here on the Shooting Show.
Well, friends, we're here in the home of Earlene Mandrell. She is our special guest on our program today, and she and her husband Rob have been nice enough to invite us up. And Earlene, it's really great to see you folks. One, it's impressive to find out that you're a gun enthusiast. Is that true?
Oh, it's very true. I have been interested in guns. My father was a policeman. He started us out very young, respecting and appreciating what guns are all about.
Well, friends, every time we as shooters can gain certainly the attention of someone who, because honestly, I never had thought about it. You as an individual, or certainly a performer like yourself, being interested in shooting and promoting shooting and gun safety, it's always good for our sport. It's good for us because, as we were talking earlier, our rights as gun owners are in danger. We're in danger of losing some of our rights because enough people won't stand up and say, well, this is what's right and this is what's not.
Right, and I think a lot of people, because of that, a lot of people aren't aware of a lot of things that are going on.
That's really true, and we really do appreciate your help on what we're all trying to do here, is educate as many people all over our country as possible on just what this is about. Now, you have something that we really want to talk about. You're going to be sponsoring, you're going to have your own shooting match.
I'm excited about this. This is a shotgun, sporting clay, trap. It's going to be held in Indiana, which is not really far from here. It's like about 3 hours from here in Nashville. And it's going to be June 27th through the 29th. And it's my first time to have a shoot myself. I've been excited.
You have some relatives that are
Yes.
sort of well known. Don't you? Somebody in your family, so we've heard of.
Well, you probably heard of Louise and Barbara. But Louise is the one that got me actually very excited about doing shotgun. I've always liked handguns and had a chance to shoot a little rifles before. But Louise started a shotgun shoot with associated with Opryland and with the Boy Scouts 2 to 3 years ago. I had a baby in between, so I lose track because one year I didn't get a shoot. But the first year she said, "Oh, guess what? You're going to be in the shoot with me." I had never even shot at moving targets. And I started practicing and fell in love with it. And so I'm excited to now have my own shoot.
You have a lot of celebrities that are going to be invited to your shoot. Is that correct?
Yes.
People, some Nashville types. I know a lot of the music types in Nashville
Yes.
are
And a lot of the people from LA that I've met are very involved in loving sporting clay and trap and different events that I know that they've been at. Trying to
Now,
make it.
we also want to invite our viewers, is that correct,
Yes.
to come to the match.
That's right. If
And
they don't want to shoot,
if they don't want to shoot,
they can also watch.
it'll still be great entertainment because this will be a spectator sport now. But certainly as important as the celebrity shoot, what benefits from your shoot?
We have an organization called Wish Upon a Star that helps make the dreams come true of terminally ill children. There's different organizations I worked with, like Dream Makers and Make-A-Wish Foundation, that I've always felt a special place for that type of organizations. I've met some of the children, and I've met parents along the ways that have said it meant so much to them to see their child happy. And last year, I got to meet some of the people in Indiana that this will be helping, and I'm just really excited about doing some good for these people.
Well, this is great because this is a high-profile event that you're having, and it's showing that we as shooters are really making an effort to help some of those folks that are underprivileged or maybe having a difficult time. Now, this is very exciting, and today, as we're taping this, we want to invite you and Rob to come down to our Fun Gun Weekend. Right now, we don't know if they can, but we certainly would like, because we're going to have people all over the country, a lot of people would really like to meet you and certainly Rob. And
It looks like we will be able to do that, and I'm hoping so.
well, trust me on this one, friends. We keep talking about, remember, May 17 and 18, Clark Custom Guns, down close to us there, Shreveport Bossier. It's actually in Princeton, but it's going to be a great time. It's going to be Saturday and Sunday, the weekend after Mother's Day, and I sincerely hope, I know you'll try. I know
Yes, I
you'll
will.
try.
I sure will.
And if you'd like to meet Arlene, and certainly her husband, Rob, is also a shooting enthusiast, and we hope you can come. So, now, one other thing we do want to talk about, I see your picture here. You're going to be on the cover of Gun World magazine, is that right?
It should be good.
So great.
Junior shoot
Great.
brand, which is good. It also
Yeah.
promotes the shoot that we're doing, and that's a lot of the reason that we did that particular issue, so we can get out about the shoot. But we're also going to have a continuing article.
Well, now, so you're going to do some writing. Is it primarily going to focus pieces for women?
Well, I like to speak a lot about the guns for women because I do believe in promoting that. You and I talked earlier a lot about protection for women. I got started actually carrying a handgun because I felt I needed one at an incident where I was working somewhere, where I was in an apartment. And it was one of those one-bedroom apartments where you kind of had one way to get out. And I was lying in bed and heard the sliding glass door break. And I had no gun, no protection, and all I could do was go out there, because I was alone, get on the house phone, because it was the apartment, and say, I'm going to check this out. If I don't come back to the phone, send somebody. And
Hold the phone, hold up, friend. Now, what you're talking about, you were working, you were alone in your apartment, bothering nobody. You hadn't bothered anybody.
Right. Sleeping.
and somebody came up and broke your door, whatever.
It was so loud that I had heard a little noise and thought, oh, I'll just go back to sleep. It was so loud it sounded like somebody dropped the dishes in a restaurant. It was really obvious someone was there.
A lot of women out there are just like what you're talking about, have faced this very event, just what you're talking about. Now tell me something, Earlene. Were you scared?
I was very afraid, but I knew that if I stayed in bed, that person out there could come to the bedroom and there was no way out. And without a gun, you can't close your door and wait for them to bust into the bedroom saying, I know I have protection. So he had to go ahead and go face it. And when I got to the house phone and spoke, I believe that maybe I heard someone run off, so I think they heard me talking. But you're very vulnerable as a woman, because if someone does come in, you can't fight them. We're not strong enough to really fight a man most of the time. Great
point. As we were talking earlier, you know what, friends, historically speaking, women have had a pretty darn tough go. I mean, which side of our human race has been the most brutalized, the most abused, the most mistreated? Not always, but most of the time has been the women, strictly due to lack of physical size. You know, simple thing, just lack of physical size. Now, this is what we're saying as a woman listening to our program today. You can protect yourself. Now, and honestly, the women make typically better students. Remember, women don't have the John Wayne. There's not a Johnette Wayne complex that we know about, you know, and we men are afflicted more with that. And I'm a John Wayne fan. But the thing is, women are better students, typically the men are, and you can. I saw you shooting some pretty big calibers, 45, stuff like that today, 38 Super, and it is, with training, you can do it, can't you, Earlene?
Oh, and it's a lot of fun. And you feel the more you shoot, just like anything you do, the more you do it, the more comfortable and more secure, more confident that you feel. But in this incident, yes, you need training, whatever, but my father, having been a policeman or whatever, he could not believe, he gave me a gun instantly. And there are incidents that there's no other choice but to protect yourself. And I very strongly believe in this.
Well, 2.5 million times a year, guns are used to stop crime. 2.5 million times a year. You know, it's just like, unfortunately, we can't prevent all accidents. It can't be. The only place that you have the ultimate security is in solitary confinement in prison, and I don't think any of us want that. But remember, when the discovery of penicillin came along, it was such a huge blessing to help stop and prevent disease, prevent infection. Everyone couldn't take it, but it did the majority so much good. And see, we can't prevent all the idiots out there from hurting themselves. You know, you can't be done, but the good that will come of certainly women and individuals properly using guns so far outweighs the horrible things throughout history. We can look at what happened when peoples were disarmed.
And I have children now, so I feel even stronger about being able to defend the house. If my husband isn't here, I'm the man of the house, whatever, but I'm in charge, and it's up to me to protect them.
Well, I tell you what, we sincerely applaud your efforts. We appreciate you folks taking time to visit with us today, and I know a lot of our viewing audience is really going to enjoy seeing you and certainly the efforts that were made here today, and we just look forward. We certainly want to promote your shooting and your writing. And
Well, it is serious, but it's a lot of fun, and I've had a lot of fun. Thank you.
Well, we hope to see you again soon, and we're going to go out here and shoot some guns and have some more fun, and we wish you all the very best. Hope you can make it to our Fun Gun Weekend, and let's tell them it's June 27th through 29th in Evansville.
Is my shoot, and then you talked about this Fun Gun was
Yes, it'll be May 17, 18, but Earlene's shotgun match and plus some side matches things is going to be in Evansville, Indiana.
And we're going to have some dinners and stuff too. So I mean, the spectators are also coming in, and they can watch the shoot, but they can also eat.
Okay, it will be a fun time be had by all. Am I right on that?
That's right.
Okay, at the Evansville Gun Club, is that right?
That's right.
In Evansville, Indiana. Write this down, June 27th through the 29th. Well, ma'am, good luck to you. We're having a great time. Thank you so much for having us up today. We'll have more from Earlene and her husband Rob on next week's program. Due to time limitations today, we just couldn't fit it all in. But the first annual Earlene Mandrell Celebrity Shoot will be held June 27 through 29 at the Evansville Gun Club in Evansville, Indiana. This will be a shotgun event. If you'd like to enter or just to attend, please give them a call for information. That phone number is area 812-768-6370, or you can fax for information. That number is area 615-230-7031.
The shooting show will be right back after this important break for our sponsors. Friends, this is the great Grizzly Wind Mag from LAR Manufacturing, the good folks out there in Utah. And let's see it in action. Yes, indeed. Tremendous caliber, tremendous handgun. And of course, they offer this gun in several different chamberings, including up to the 50 Action Express. Very, very finely made, big, overgrown 1911s with a tremendous amount of finesse, easy to shoot, extremely accurate, and a very, very fine company. Now also, remember, they also make this great target and hunting rifle in 50 Browning, which is one of the most accurate long-range target and hunting rifles that is available today. These guns are capable of shooting 5-shot groups at 1,000 yards of under 4 inches. It is also the best priced gun of its type that I am certainly aware of. So you can give LAR Manufacturing a call, area 801-280-3505. Again, area 801-280-3505, and get an information package on their tremendous line of products. Friends, something else they're offering is this Grizzly 45 Win Mag state pistol. They have one gun for each of the 50 states, and this is a terrific idea if you're certainly a collector or if you want a very shootable collector piece. These guns are available now from LAR. Let me give you that number again. Of course, it comes in its own case, a very pretty, very collectible Grizzly. That number again for LAR Manufacturing, if you're interested in this, one of the state commemorative pistols, you can give them a call, area 801-280-3505, and be sure and tell them that you saw it here on our program. Now friends, here's another Clark gun we thought we would show you, and this is called the Meltdown, and there's reason for it. Here we have a standard Springfield Armory 1911A1, in fact, and you'll notice on the standard Springfield gun, and this is a little compact gun here from Clark's, the Meltdown is also a Springfield gun, but you'll notice how the standard 1911s have a lot of sharp edges. That's just the way they're made. Whereas on this Clark gun, it does not have any sharp edges that you may come in contact with, even here on the slide release. See here? And the safety, it's been smooth, and there's reason for it, because this can be carried a lot easier in concealment. You can pull it from concealment without snagging it on anything, much easier on your clothing. Also, we have this great rear sight. We have a tritium front sight on this particular gun, but this is one of the Novak type rear sights. It's not a Novak sight, it sort of looks like it. Very easy to see. This gun is the compact model, has a 6-round magazine, and of course it's been thoroughly worked over by the Clarks for reliability. Really a neat package, something we thought we would show you. And of course it has the great Clark accuracy. And I was surprised at the lack of recoil on this little gun. Let's see how it shoots out here at 20 yards. Yes. There we go. Absolutely. The Meltdown. Some of you with a sharp eye might have noticed on the close-up there, this gun has a cone barrel. It doesn't have a standard bushing. Also has a full-length guide rod. This is a gun for a professional, someone in security, police officer, or someone who really wants the ultimate in a small, powerful semi-automatic. You'll notice it's quite a bit smaller than the standard 1911, and I'll tell you what, friends, everyone who has seen or handled this gun has been so impressed, and justifiably so. The good folks at Clark's have even done research on different spring weights to help the guns function better. So anyway, the Meltdown, we thought you would like to see it. If you would like information on any of the fine Clark custom products, give them a call, area 318-949-9884, and get a catalog. Now, they have to have about $3 for that catalog. Trust me, it is a bargain. Send them $3, get the catalog from our good friends over at Clark Custom Guns. Has a little recoil, but trust me, it's not bad. Not nearly as much as you'd think for the size gun it is. The Meltdown.
Now, friends, here it is. This is the great 1919 Browning machine gun converted to semi-automatic by the good folks at NWI and available to you all over this country. If you can go on a semi-automatic rifle, you can have one of these. For only $23.95, you get the gun complete with the tripod. Also, they're including 500 rounds of ammunition along with it. Incidentally, this is in 30-06 chambering, where ammunition is available everywhere. They also have a special on ammunition for only 18 cents a round. Friends, this is a great deal from the good people at NWI. And remember, they're helping to keep our shooting show on the air. You can give them a call, area 503-429-5001. Again, area 503-429-5001 for the 1919 Browning machine gun conversion to semi-automatic. Give them a call today, and please tell them that you saw it here on our shooting show. Friends, we certainly hope you've enjoyed our program today. We appreciate so much Earlene Mandrell and her husband Rob for inviting us up to their home and doing this piece with us. It is so important that we bring in as many people from as many different walks of life as is possible to promote our goal of not just shooting, but also our retaining our rights as gun owners, because honestly, as we stand now, we're in danger of losing our rights. We've got to get more women. We've got to get more people concerned and educated about what this is about. Some folks I do want to mention, we have our shooting show support group. This is for advertisers that are on a more limited budget, but they still want to support our program, and you certainly can. If you'd like to join our shooting show support group, you can call Bobby, area 903-693-5097. We'll be very pleased to talk to you about it. We do want to mention in our support group, the good folks at Custom Saddlery and Shoe Repair. They're in Denham Springs, Louisiana, and they do complete saddle shop and repairs, saddles cleaned and oiled. They do specialty repairs on boots and shoes. Some very, very nice people. We really appreciate them being with us. They're custom leatherwork. I'll get it right in a moment. Custom leatherwork and saddlery, area 504-667-9225. We appreciate you folks being there with us, Dennis and Jeannie Ritchie. We'll come back on the next program to another couple of features that we had shot with Earlene and her husband Rob. They have a grizzly, in fact, I think they're going to show us. They're also going to be talking about some indoor training techniques that they have, which I think you'll find interesting. Please, friends, remember our gospel show on Sunday mornings from 10 to 10:30 Eastern Time on G4 Channel 14. Also, remember our radio show on the Great American Freedom Network, and that's on Sundays from noon until 2 p.m. Eastern Time. On satellites, you can find us on GE1 Channel 7 5.8 audio, and we really appreciate the good people with the American Freedom Network because they're doing the similar job to us. They're trying to educate as many people about what's going on in our country, because what we need, friends, we need responsible government. There's nothing wrong with our United States Constitution. There's nothing wrong with our government, but some of the people in it seem to have forgotten what our country is about, and it's our job, certainly on this end, to educate as many people as possible about guns and shooting, and in fact what we're doing here as shooters in America, gun owners in America. Well, friends, we're going to close out today with our video. Thanks again for being with us. We'll see you on the next show.
I was tired of living on the wrong side of lonely. I met this little girl who promised me she'd love me only. We were having fun, we were doing great, and I had a little financial earthquake. Then my little angel was suddenly on the run. 'Cause when the money ran out, so did she. She gave me back my liberty. I saw love, she saw dollar signs. When the money ran out, so did she. Gave me a shot of reality. I guess she was rented, she was never really mine. I thought love was supposed to last forever. She had promised me we'd always be together. But when things got thin, she said,
Wait, that was then.
and she was on her way. I guess I'm probably lucky, 'cause my oil well came in today. Yes, it did. When the money ran out, so did she. She gave me back my liberty. I saw love, she saw dollar signs. When the money ran out, so did she. She gave me a shot of reality. I guess she was rented, she was never really mine. So did she. She gave me back my liberty. I saw love, she saw dollar signs. When the money ran out, so did she. She gave me my shot of reality. I guess she was rented, she
was never mine.
Money ran out, so did she.